Welcome back to Mike Ferry TV. It is the week of July 28th, or it's the week of our Superstar Retreat in Las Vegas. I'm hoping our viewership does not drop because all of you are there, but at the same time, I'm hoping it drops because all of you are there. What I want to do today, and with all of you as you watch this week, the opening comments that I make at the retreat, or that I actually have made now as you're watching this, were to me vitally important to setting up all 4,000 attendees for what we're going to do in the next 4 days. The hardest part about becoming a great real estate salesperson is being very analytical and sometimes critical about who you are, what you do, and how you do it, how you think, and the actions you take. One of the best parts of my job for nearly 40 years has been the fact that I have made the decision way back in the beginning to study the habits of the most successful real estate people, how they think, what they do, their characteristics. I try to observe them a lot. I'm very lucky that I get to talk to virtually hundreds and hundreds of them every month. And I've done this for now close to 40 years. And it's interesting because there's two kinds of people in real estate, as you know, those that do and those that don't. Unfortunately, in our industry, the majority of the people in real estate don't do anything. You've seen that in your own office. It's sad. I hate to see a person go through the pain and suffering of taking the time to get licensed and go through that entire process, come into a business with the anticipation and hope that you're going to succeed and then never do anything. And 3, 6, 9 months later, go back and find a job in the job market to support yourself and your family. Well, the people that are successful obviously operate at a little different level in what they think and what they do. So what I've done this year for the retreat is I've spent the last several months making notes every day of, okay, what is the difference? Okay, or what are the differences, I should say plural, between those people that are really successful and those that are not in real estate. I want to go through the 12 points of difference that I've recognized, and let's see where you are with each of these 12 points, A and B. Let's see if you don't have them, you can acquire them, and if you do have them, you can enhance them. Here's number one, and no order of importance, by the way. A superstar number one eliminates all the options for not producing in the course of an average day. Now, you and I both know in the course of a day as a real estate sales professional, things pop up all day long. Things get in the way, a phone call, a text, an email, an agent walking into the office and bothering you, a call from a seller, a call from a buyer, a problem with the transaction, appraisal came in low. You know, the mortgage company is giving you a bad time about the qualifications of the buyer. The seller is hesitating about the home inspection and the different things that have to be done. These are all normal things that happen in the course of a day. The great salespeople spend their time eliminating the options of going to work on those versus what they're supposed to do, which is produce, okay? Now, here's what I want you to think about. At the end of each day, can you honestly say to yourself, I've done a lot today to build my real estate sales career? Have I done the things that are necessary to make that happen? The superstar will answer that yes, the majority, question mark or no. Number two, they work a full 8 hours plus every day. If I stood next to you in your office for the next 30 days after the retreat, for the month of August, and I did a time and motion study on you, and I took my pen in hand, and I watched you from 8 o'clock until 5 o'clock, how much of your day would be spent doing something that actually leads to, excuse me, production? Because that's what we have to look at in terms of our 8-hour day. See, the producers, and you know this, and I know you don't always like it, are involved in lead generation, lead follow-up, pre-qualifying, going on presentations. The rest of the agents are trying to find everything possible to do besides go on those 4 activities. Number 3, they understand the value of a schedule. Great people always have a detailed, very precise, productive schedule. I wrote down this. Everybody says they have one. Majority of people don't have one and never do anything productive, which means they can't be following something that doesn't exist. Which person are you? Either you have a schedule you follow or you don't. Number 4, and this is a fun one. The top producers make decisions quickly as the day progresses so they can get on with their business and their life. The only time we get in trouble is when we make the decision not to make a decision. I've said for years, not making a decision is making a decision, period. Number 5, they understand the value of working on their skills every day. Watch, working on your skills is an activity that never ends. Great people are not skill-less. Great people are not skill-free. You don't want to have a brain surgeon operating on you or your family that doesn't have the highest level of skills. You don't want the pilot flying the plane that isn't absolutely the most skilled at every situation that takes place on a plane. You want to be the most skilled real estate agent that a buyer or seller can meet. How does that happen? You work on your skills every day. Number 6, they confront people when necessary, and they accept confrontation on a non-emotional level. I think one of the really interesting things I see with top producers is that I have to confront them at times about what they're doing or not doing. And they sometimes don't like it, it's normal, but they accept it on a non-emotional level. They accept it on a reality-based level. See, it's very rare that I would call a Karen Bernardi and a Mike Darda and a Michael Young and a Neil Schwartz and all these incredible agents all over the world, and I confront them on something where they get mad and angry and get emotional. It doesn't happen because they look at the criticism as a potential growth. We'll talk about it more in a few minutes. Number 7, they respond to correspondence in a timely manner. I have to tell you, the communication among people is getting worse and worse every day as technology improves and improves every day. Technology is becoming an excuse for not having to talk to people. We're trying to find every way to get a message across without communication, without being in conversation. And top producers understand the value of a very timely communication. They understand the value of corresponding in a timely manner. They don't let messages sit on their cell phone for 4 or 5 days. They don't let emails sit for 5, 8, 10, 15 days. Watch, they don't text an answer back. They don't email. They get on the phone and they talk to people, which is the name of the game. Number 8, they address complacency when it comes up in their business, and they don't let complacency run their life. Think about this. We all have a status quo DNA portion of who we are. I'm really good at this point, and that's where I stay. I make this much money, and that's where I stay. I do this many transactions per month, and that's where I stay. That's complacency. Well, Mike, I can't keep growing forever. Okay, why not? Why can't you keep growing? Why can't you keep getting better? I mean, where does it say on your real estate license that you're limited to 1 listing a month? Where does it say that you're limited to $70,000 a year in income? Read your license, it doesn't say it. But your DNA up here has written a script for what you can and cannot do. Complacency is when you buy into the script. Number 8, the superstar agent is not ego-based, but reality-based. Guys and gals, there's always somebody bigger, better, stronger, faster, richer, more knowledgeable than we are. And too many of the people that we meet that never do a lot of production, hey, look at me, look what I've done. You know, I'm the top agent in the office. How many deals you do? I did 1 last month. And you're the top agent? Get out of the office. You can't be in a situation where doing a deal a month makes you good, because a deal a month is only 12 deals a year. And depending on where you live, it's going to be any place from, say, 30 to 50,000 to 70,000 in income. Number 10, they accept criticism as part of the growth process. If you look at criticism as something that's harmful, you eliminate the chance for being a growing person. You guys and gals have for 40 years openly, quickly, without any hesitation, criticized everything I say and everything I do in trying to help you grow. But if I criticize you back, oh my goodness, don't you know who I am? That's ego instead of reality. Criticism is part of growth. Number 11, they work from a very, very specific plan, because the plan is the roadmap that they follow to achieve the goals they've set. Do you really have a plan for the second half of this year? August, September, October, November, December. We have 5 months for you to do something extraordinary. And if you start today, it may not pay off for 30, 60 days, but you got the roadmap in front of you. You got the car on the road and you're progressing. And number 12, which is probably the hardest one, they understand the value of strong accountability in everything they do. Because if there's no accountability and there's nobody paying attention, guess what? We do what we want. Our biggest advantage of real estate, independent contractors. Our biggest disadvantage, independent contractors. Because if we take that right to go out and perform in a positive manner and we use it with accountability, we perform up here. If we take that right to not perform and not be held accountable, we perform at this level. So which agent are you? I want you to watch this particular show 2 or 3 times this week. I want you to write down all 12 thoughts. I want you to be honest, and on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 the best, evaluate yourself in each of these areas. Let's see how good you can get in the second half of the year. And if all 12 are working in your favor, let's improve upon them to make the second half of this year the best you've ever had. I hope you're at the retreat. I hope you're paying attention. If you're not, I'm glad you're watching the show today. In either case, let's have a great day. Talk to you next week.